Manchester United last week signed VDB. I was going to try to say his name, but I didn't want to mess it up. Gash, how do you say it?
So a lot of people are going to pronounce it Van De Beek, but I think the correct way to pronounce it is Van Der Beek.
Okay, so Van Der Beek. Does he fit into your FPL team? Why don't you start us off, Gash?
He does not. He's in my FPL team in my heart, but he's not going to be in my actual FPL team. And there are a few reasons why. So I think he's priced at $7 million, which I think is actually pretty fair. He was signed as cover for Bruno and Pogba, so he can play in that number 10 role, then more of the number 8 role that Pogba plays. Sitting back as the not the deepest midfielder, but not the one the furthest forward. He gets into when he does play. He gets into the box a lot and, gets a lot of chances and scores and assists a lot as well. He had, I have the numbers right here. Last 3 seasons, he had 28 goals and 21 assists in 91 matches. So that's about a return every other game. I think his biggest, plus in terms of FPL could be if Bruno or Pogba get hurt, he would be the guy to step in and become the starter most likely. So he would be, he's, like I said before, he's priced at $7 million, so he'd be really good, like a Bruno backup to have there if Bruno is, does suffer from a long-term injury. But at the moment, at $7 million, I think I'd rather just spend the extra 0.5 to have Greenwood in my team. If Sancho doesn't end up signing for United.
Mm-hmm. So you don't think there's a chance United try to shift into a 3-man midfield with the 3 of them, with Pogba, Bruno, and VDB, or you think it's just a backup? Because that's an expensive backup.
Right. Well, I think one of the things was, if they didn't sign him, then the backup to Bruno would be Lingard or Pereira, and those are 2 players. Yeah. Right. I don't think if they could play a 3-man Van Der Beek, my apologies to any of our Dutch listeners, Pogba and Bruno midfield, I think that would be really too unbalanced. So I think I could see them doing a 4-man midfield diamond with, Matic at the base and then Pogba and Van Der Beek playing in the middle, and then Bruno as like the attacking midfielder. Maybe depending on the game.
That could be cool. Yeah. Tazz, what are your thoughts?
I think just for the price, he's a little bit too expensive. Maybe if he's more nailed on, and you can see like how they're playing the diamond formation, as Gash mentioned, maybe that I'll consider him. But for $7 million, for somebody that's not nailed on, it's too much of a risk.
Yeah, it's tough. I was really surprised to see him at 7, honestly. C4, how do you feel?
Just before this transfer, I was pretty high on VDB just from my FIFA 20 career modes. So I was a little shocked to see him go to United, considering even reading more stuff after the fact. Like, apparently he has a ridiculous record of drawing penalties for his club, which, based on how United
that makes sense. That's why United signed him. Yeah. There we go. That's it.
Just talking to Gash about this during the break could he potentially force Ole to create a system under a 4-4-2 arrow? Because I just think he's too talented to be sitting on the bench in comparison to Greenwood. You already have 2 talented strikers at United. You can create a really solid 4-man midfield. If he does get nailed on, or like Gash said, if a Pogba or Fernandez get injured, I think he's the most attractive United midfield option all of a sudden. To have him at $7 million, I'd love that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it'd be really, really easy to if Bruno were to go down, to transfer him out for VDB, or if you had Pogba, the same thing. But
I'm saying even if he was like not because of an injury, if he was just starting, I would strongly consider just going Bruno straight to him or Rashford straight to him.